Good morning. Have we finally recovered from 6 yet?
You're still on that? Good Lord, man, you need to give it up and move on.
It's a lot of hours. A lot of fun, a lot of energy.
Okay.
A lot of hours.
You'll be fine. If it's in your blood, it's in your blood. You
That's
know?
true. That's true.
If it's in your blood. That's all I got to say.
So,
There's always the next show.
which is Mamma Mia, which is going to
Yes.
be awesome.
Okay.
Then after Mamma Mia, what do we have?
Is that monkeys? Are we going to have flying monkeys?
Oh, we don't have the Wizard of Oz, do we?
The Wizard of Oz?
You said flying monkeys.
Yeah. What in...
It's Peter Pan.
Oh. That didn't look like any Peter Pan I've ever seen fly. Peter flies.
And with the use of video boards, Peter flies awesome.
Yes,
Really well.
he does. He flies unlike any way he's ever flown before, and it's not just him. Of course, it's all the other characters that fly with him as well. I will say
They'd
this.
have flying if they didn't.
Exactly. But going back, when you go back to, back to the original, in the 40s and the 50s with Mary Martin, of course, it was all staged, and they flew, and you could see this and that and the other. But when they combine with the right lighting, with all of those video screens, you literally cannot see where Peter Pan starts flying and he doesn't stop flying. I mean, it's seamless.
And you can go all through London.
You can go London all the way around the world and back to Neverland.
But Peter Pan's going to be good fun. It's here for a week. It's our next week-long performance.
It is a wonderful, wonderful show for the entire family. And I love that one of the things that my favorite little bits about it is that children from all around the world are now all in Neverland as well.
And so it's funny, one of my favorite things is the costuming. Because in Neverland, if you have children from around the world, they're not all going to be wearing the same thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the costume is really very international.
And that's one of the things that you can look and check out in the show as you're watching it.
I know, but knowing me, that's a very weird thing for me to pick up, though, wasn't it?
Well, I would hope not.
So it's just funny.
I mean,
that was my biggest takeaway. Is like, wow, you really have a Neverland that's representative of kids from around the world that go there.
You certainly do. You certainly do. And then, you forgot a show.
Oh, Shamrock Tenors.
Shamrock Tenors. Absolutely, yes. Going to be doing the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Shamrock Tenors is happening right after that.
And I'll tell you, they're kind of known worldwide. They're not known as well here. And I don't know if that's our fault, if it's whose fault it is, but it's a fantastic show, and they sing so well.
It is. It's nobody's fault when you have emerging artists like that and bring them to Huntsville. It's like, unless you're already in the know, you face that challenge of getting everybody to know and understand. But there's a large Irish community here, and of course they'll be singing all the Irish classics.
Yep. Sadly, Notre Dame didn't win the national championship this season. They lost to Ohio State. Or that could be a big thing for the Shamrock Tenors.
Yeah, and there's that too.
Yeah, I know you don't know anything about
what?
that.
What do they do? And of course, we're closing out our current season with...
Bring him home.
We're bringing Kipley home. He's home. Yes,
he's been home for a year now.
Huntsville and America's favorite musical of the past 64 years, correct?
Les Miserables.
La Hua Hua?
Les Miserables.
Oh, he's always got his unique way of saying things, doesn't he?
Not quite as cool as Aluminium. Or The Garage.
Oh my. Are you going for dual citizenship or something?
No, but I was raised in a very British household.
Okay. I thought you were Scottish.
My heritage is Scottish, but my grandfather my grandparents who raised me, spent so much time in Great Britain, and he was a liaison with the British Army. So, like, we had tea. We had Yorkshire pudding. We had so many British things growing up. And I love to watch British television shows.
I have a real hard idea of imagining you as Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. Anyhow.
So what's happening today?
We've got big announcement that we've soft announced on social media and stuff, but we're going to really break down and talk about.
How much is it going to cost me?
Fortunately, it's often I don't get to say it's not my department.
So I can call somebody else expensive, right?
Yes, and I hope you do.
Kipley, you're expensive.
But
You're so expensive.
We're going to talk about the Jimmy Awards, Alabama's first presenter of it for the Tallulahs.
I see. Do tell me more. Do you know all about the Tallulahs?
I do not. I know the famous story with Tallulah, but we need to cut to a break. And maybe we'll
Get some
open with
experts
that.
on here. What are we talking about?
We'll see you guys in just a few minutes.
See you in a minute.
The high-flying adventure begins. Join Peter, Wendy, Tiger Lily, and Captain Hook on an adventure to Neverland for the entire family. Think the loveliest thoughts. And get ready to take flight. Peter Pan. At the Von Braun Center, April 22nd through 27th. On sale at BroadwayTheaterLeague.org.
From London to New York and around the world, from the stage to the big screen, the worldwide phenomenon returns. The original, record-breaking production returns to Huntsville. Mamma Mia! Celebrate the 25th anniversary of the most exhilarating smash hit musical ever. Fall in love all over again with Mamma Mia. Coming to the Von Braun Center March 28th through 30th. Get tickets at BroadwayTheaterLeague.org.
Welcome back to Show and Tell with BTL. And looking at that monitor back there, I never in my life thought I would see Ice-T selling insurance.
We are here today for much more important business than that. Thank you, Ice-T. Thank you, Ice-T.
The blasphemy.
Anyhow,
Yes.
on here we've got Kip and Chris
Right.
to talk about literally the biggest thing in BTL in a long, long time.
Oh, really? What is that? I think, first of all, we should...
You should get to do the honors.
No, I think that what we need to roll out is we need to kind of walk through this on this journey so far that we have taken. But I think, in effect, what with Kip and Chris and this sort of brain trust, we are bringing to Huntsville and to Alabama a very special program that's called the Jimmy Awards, which is a National High School Musical Theater program that, Chris, you were a part of starting, what, 15 years ago or so, or 10 years ago, 12 years ago? What was it?
Oh, yeah, it was a while ago in Memphis.
In
Yeah,
Memphis,
I was
yes.
working on the team.
Right, and so you've been an important part to us as to, it's sort of like we're on this bus, but you're kind of driving and go, okay, go this way, go this way.
Oh, no, I'm just in the back seat yelling a little bit.
Watch that curve over there. Okay, there you go. So let's really get into this and break it down. And if Kip, if you want to go back, it's like, I mean,
Sure.
let's go back to you and I. How did all this start?
Can we start with an explanation of what the Jimmies are?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So the Jimmy Awards is actually on the national level. What we'll be doing is a regional awards program that leads to the Jimmy Awards. The Jimmy Awards is every year in New York since 2009, and every regional awards program from all the different 50 states can send the two best winners, like the best actor, best actress, to New York City. Those two performers compete with all the other winners from all the other different programs. So there's usually about 90 to 100 people competing at the Jimmy Awards, which is the wonderful thing about the Jimmy Awards is it takes place on a Broadway stage, the competition, and the Broadway house is completely sold out, full of like directors, casting directors, producers, the Broadway royalty, It's literally the best platform you could possibly get as a high schooler. And a lot of people, that's where the careers start, is that night on the stage.
Okay.
It's literally a way for a young person who is, a part of this program to be catapulted to a national stage and literally could be into their first role or first job or first tour or whatever it may be. Let's go back. Now, you created a program in Memphis like the Jimmy Awards, but each one of them is a little different, we understand. Tell us what the process was like for you in Memphis in creating their version of the Jimmy Awards.
I worked with a team of people at the Orpheum. I was just one of a group of about 7 people that were invested in high school musical theater at the time. And they pretty much opened that competition up to any high school that was interested in participating around like 40 miles in a range. So we had some people in Arkansas, some people in Mississippi, some people in Tennessee, Memphis. And one of the things that I did was drive around to all of those programs and watch their musicals and offer feedback and criticism as an adjudicator. And then we brought in some additional workshops for those students that were working on it. Had a week-long thing before the final performance locally and celebrated all of their work on a special awards night in the middle of May.
Got it. Well, Kip, how do you think in Huntsville this is going to come together? I mean, obviously we'll be attending shows at the high schools and we'll be adjudicating them. So talk us kind of what that process is like.
Sure. So also I will say, because I went to Grissom High School and Chris went to Lee High School. And so we personally are very invested, because when we were in high school here, there was nothing like this. So it's so exciting, the fact that there can be something like this now. So that's where our heads are with it, and one of the reasons why we're both very passionate about it. And I forgot the question.
So
hold on. Since he forgot the question, now's a great time to cut to a break.
Okay.
And we can ask the question when we come back.
Thank you.
Okay.
Woo!
The Deep Comics and Games has the largest selection of comics, board games, and toys in North Alabama. All your favorite games such as Ticket to Ride, Munchkin, and Catan. Trading card games such as Magic, The Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. Miniature games, Warhammer, Star Wars, Flames of War, and all the supplies you need to get them ready for play. Selling your collection, The Deep is always buying and will give you the most cash for your stash. The Deep Comics and Games, 2310 South Memorial Parkway, just south of Office Depot.
Les Miserables, still the world's most popular musical. Experience the breathtaking production that leaves both audiences and critics awestruck. Les Miserables.
Les Miserables, May 6th through 11th. Tickets at BroadwayTheaterLeague.org.
Welcome back to Show and Tell with BTL. Well, Kip promptly forgot the last question he was asked.
Yes, just like a theater kid.
I guess what I was thinking, for people that are watching and, theater kids that are involved in their own programs in their high schools, it's like, well, how do I participate? What's it going to be like? And I know you have to adjudicate the shows and nominations have to be made. Talk to us, and as if you were talking to maybe like one of the high school theater teachers or something, and talk about what the Jimmy Awards is like.
Sure. So because this will be our first regional awards program, and by the way, this for the entire state of Alabama, they do not have a regional awards program.
So up to this point, we've not sent anybody to the national program.
No, nobody from Alabama has ever been represented at the Jimmy Awards. So that's why we're super excited about this. Now, it's our first year. We have to make sure that we do really well so we can keep going. So our first year, we're starting out smaller. We're doing like North Alabama. We're doing about 10 or 11 counties. And we're gonna reach out to all of the different programs that would like to throw their hat in the ring. They just have to be doing a musical that is on the qualifying list from the league in New York City. And then we hire adjudicators. So we can't adjudicate because there would be bias, or perceived bias. So we have to make sure that we choose adjudicators that are not directly connected to these programs. So that's probably going to be one of the more difficult parts, is getting the adjudicators together. We've heard from our Zoom calls with the league in New York City, but then they go out and see all the productions. They give it scores and everything, and it's like a competition of all the different programs that have registered because they want to be part of this competition. And
so then if we sort of move forward in time, and it's May 16th of 2026, and we're getting ready to have our first Tallulah Awards there in the VBC Concert Hall. So it's going to be bringing all those high school programs together. Is that correct?
It is, and it's going to. I firmly believe it's going to really just galvanize the city of Huntsville, and everybody's going to be invested in this. So it's going to get everyone there to work together to make this like a hugely successful inaugural celebration. So we're going to. Every program does it differently.
Right.
But there's going to be performances, there's going to be some group performances, there's going to be other awards given that aren't necessarily about the Jimmies, but it's about the community and just celebrating all of our high school theater across the city. But it would culminate in sending off the 2 students that will be going to the Jimmies.
So to talk about how big of a deal this actually is, last year's Jimmies were hosted by Josh Groban, right?
Yes, yes.
And the actor who played Marty McFly in Back to the Future, who's now going to London, was a Jimmy's kid, right?
Close. The original Broadway guy, Casey Likes, he was a winner from the Jimmies. The guy that's going to London, it's a different actor.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same idea.
Okay.
So a lot of, I think there's at least 70 students from the Jimmies that have gone on to have like very successful Broadway careers now.
So back to May 16th, 2026, by the end of that day, what will happen?
By the end of that day, we will announce right there in front of everyone who the best actor, best actress, and that they're going to be going to New York City free. It's going to be free for them.
And for 10 days.
They're going to be there for 10 days. It's not just going there for a weekend. 10 days of studying with Broadway celebrities basically, and workshopping and rehearsing and dance rehearsal and putting these group numbers together and singing for the judges there, because they have to decide who's winning there and who the finalists are. So it's really kind of it's going to end up being, for lack of a better word, like an American Idol's kind of thing at the end, where it starts out with everyone, it starts dwindling down to 8, and then it goes to the top 2. There's always a best actor, best actress winner of the whole Jimmy Awards. Lots of scholarship money, not just for the winners. There's several scholarships and everything, and they have like some of the awards are cool, like best spirit of the Jimmies. Somebody who's not winning it, but their attitude and energy kept it going.
And we here in Huntsville, not only will we be having our first Jimmy Awards in May of 26, but we probably will also be announcing who our scholarship winners will be from the Jim and Judy Link Foundation that we receive annually. Those scholarships will be going to probably participants in the Tallulah Awards.
Absolutely. We haven't said all the details yet, but we've kind of been thinking it's going to go to, there's going to be an acting winner, and there's going to be a technical theater winner.
Yes.
Because there's so much great student participation in the technical theater in Huntsville, which didn't exist when I was coming up. I don't know about you at Lee, but we didn't have that. So I'm excited that they will be celebrated.
So we have to cut to a break again, and then when we come back, do you mind staying with us for a closing segment? Awesome. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Thank you, Steve.
The high-flying adventure begins. Join Peter, Wendy, Tiger Lily, and Captain Hook on an adventure to Neverland for the entire family. Think the loveliest thoughts. And get ready to take flight. Peter Pan. At the Von Braun Center, April 22nd through 27th. On sale at BroadwayTheaterLeague.org.
Looking for high energy, fast-paced, non-stop fun? Come experience Havoc Hockey live. Get your tickets now at HavocTix.com.
Buying or selling your home, why not trust a legend? Huntsville native Karen Farrell can make the process fun, exciting, and easy. Enjoy the biggest investment of your life. Call a legend, Karen Farrell of Legend Realty, 468-4626, or find her on Facebook.
Welcome back, and I want to start with the question for you, Chris, is so once you got this rolled out in Memphis, what was the reaction? I mean, what did it do for the community?
I think the Orpheum did an incredible job in supporting our local community, and I think one of the things that we saw happen was everyone was sort of living on an island in terms of teachers, right? They're all in their own planet trying to make this incredible art, and the opportunity for all of these people to come together and see each other's work celebrated in a place that is legitimizing to them as a performing artist and a teacher was super impactful. And I think the teachers saw their programs start growing. They started making connections and networking with other people, and really the power of what it means to do art on such a massive scale really resonated throughout all of the people that participated, and the thing continued to blossom.
I mean, what great experience, what great knowledge. I mean, we can't thank you enough for guiding us along. I mean, I got to ask, I mean, please tell me you have your list of tips, tricks, and don't mess this up. What would you say?
Okay, yeah, well, for sure. So the first thing I'd probably say is the community building aspect is probably the most important part. It is incredible to send 2 students off to New York City, but if we remember to put our focus on the school teacher and the entire group behind those shows and bringing them all together and celebrating all of their art, I think that is what galvanizes people to continue to make things amazing. And we have a lot of incredible high school teachers here, and I can't wait to see them celebrated by this City of Huntsville, the BVC, and Broadway Theater League. That's going to be amazing. So that's the serious answer, and then the joke answer is there's never enough toilet paper. So as soon as you get all those high school kids there, be prepared.
Extra cases.
Didn't COVID teach us that?
Oh, yes.
I appreciate that answer, and I do, Kip. I do hope you have him. We all should have him on speed dial.
Yeah, he's on speed dial for sure. Yeah, because when we first the first step we had to take was we had to become a member of the league, which is not an easy thing to do. There's lots of boxes we had to check off, and Andrew is actually our member of the league. But Chris here helped us, networking a little bit, getting to talk to some of the other players, because we have to get letters of recommendation and so forth. So that really kept it, got the wheels in motion.
The one thing I will say about all this journey so far, this journey really started with the BTL, for BTL, literally 20 years ago. Prior to 2005, there really wasn't existence of a outreach program at all. And this organization and the community helped build this organization to where it is, so that when you and I finally, 20 years later, started having a conversation about the possibilities, it's all the work that the community has done in supporting BTL that's allowing, eventually the culmination of the Tallulahs to come about. It's literally all community focused.
So let me ask you this. So if someone's watching this right now and they want to know how they can support us doing this, obviously there's monetary support, which we'll need a lot of, but what are some of the other ways the community can help back us up?
I mean, I think if you just reach out to us, like you can go to the website, there's a way to contact us, because we're keeping a roster of all the people that want to help financially or just, for the grunt work, just to get these things going. We don't know yet what we're going to need, so we're going to figure it out as we go along. We have a mentor through the league that's going to help us make those decisions, but we know we need a lot of men power, women power, people power, and we need a lot of financial support, and we need everyone just there in spirit.
I mean, I think it's like anything. When the community is ready, they will follow you when they're ready. And just from that little bit of, at the end of the year, this end of 24, we kind of made a kind of a soft little announcement about what our intentions are, and it's been very promising. The people that have come about to we want to get behind you, want to help you make this happen.
Yep.
And I think it's been long enough. It's since 2009 we've not been represented. Our if I think about you, and I think of you, Chris, or Matt Meggs, or Willem Butler, I think of all the talented people that have come out of this community and have gone on and made it in their own way. This gives us just this little stepping stone to really catapult someone with, because you're going into it blind. So many times you don't know what you're doing. But to give a child or a student from this area that opportunity, it's priceless.
Yeah, and even if nothing ever happens again, those two students from Alabama will have performed on a Broadway stage to a sold-out crowd of Broadway bigwigs and creatives, and that's something that is worth it right there.
And you'll have performers local that get to perform with you at the VBC during the Tallulahs.
Absolutely.
And I want to just say, on behalf of all the theater teachers out there, we are so grateful that you're making this an initiative. I've spoken to many of them local, and we cannot express our gratitude to Broadway Theater League for putting this on the forefront.
And one other unique thing is that they may go to Broadway, then go on tour with the show, in the case of like Willem, or in the case of Kip, and then they come back here, and Huntsville loves a hometown hero.
It does.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, the first time Kip and I met literally was when he was here on tour with Les Mis in 2004. 2004, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it just happenstance, and then one day, 20 years later, he calls me, he's like, hey, what's up, boy? Hey, how are you?
I still remember the day he called you, too.
Yeah.
So, but to you, congratulations. This is a big step for BTL, and thank you so much for the support and helping them behind it.
I'm just glad to be in the bus with you.
And like I said, fortunately with what I do, I have some involvement with this, but the main crux is not on me, so I just get to sit back and be a happy behind-the-scenes supporter of you guys in the back of the bus with this dude.
I think it will be monumental. I think for some people from this community, eventually it will be life-changing. So.
Yep, and that's the reason you do things like that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's important to give back.
So, thank you guys very much, and we can't end it on a better sentiment than that.
There you go.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Hey.